All right, what's up guys? Welcome back to a new video. Today we're outside. It's fairly warmer. It's a balmy 25 Fahrenheit. So I'm getting this Jeep ready. I'm gonna get it loaded up on the car hauler, and we're bringing this out to my buddy who's going to swap the new engine that I got for it. You've been following, this Jeep needs a new motor because the cam bearings are worn. I think there's a cracked cylinder which is allowing coolant and oil to mix, which is not good at all. I bought a cheap motor for 400 bucks, and yeah, I'm just gonna bring this thing out there to my buddy who's probably about an hour and a half away. Not too bad, but we're gonna get a cold start on this thing. Last time I hopped in it, it gave me a little hard time starting up, but hopefully she fires up. Minty. She's a little cold, but see, she's got oil pressure right now because it's cold. It's when it loses oil pressure when it's hot at idle. So I can drive it around, perfectly fine as long as I'm on the gas. She'll always have oil pressure. That's just not ideal. Little rattle there. I gotta tighten up my exhaust clamp there. It's just mint. So we're gonna let this girl warm up just a little bit, and I think I'm gonna get a cold start on the 2J. Pull the 2J, the XJ out, stretch her legs a little bit. I mean, if you guys aren't from the Northeast, it's not really the cold that bothers me personally, or the snow. It's all that white stuff on the road there. So when it gets wet and it gets cold, they love to use this salt mixture chemical stuff that's probably not even salt. But anyway, that's what causes our vehicles to rot out. And the 2J, as you guys know, isn't necessarily mint underneath on the unibody. Needs some work, so that's why I never really drive it on the roads during the winter, because they're always salty and I don't want to make the problem worse. I'm also going to be picking up a new axle for Cherry over here. That's her name. I named her Cherry. Obviously this thing needs a lot more work, but it doesn't even have axle shafts or anything in the front Dana 30. It's just gutted. I think there's a pinion shaft in there, but that's about it. There's no ring gear, no carrier or anything like that. So I'm gonna go pick one up for like 80 bucks, and it's got everything in it except one knuckle. It needs a knuckle on the passenger side, which I'll pull that one off. Yeah, that's what we got going on today. Just gonna let this girl warm up a little bit. Proud of her that she started, This engine, I'm planning on probably rebuilding myself. If we're gonna take this engine that's in there right now, once the new one's swapped in, I'm gonna bring it home, put it on a stand, and just slowly start wrenching on it, because it's still a good engine. It just probably needs a new head and yeah, cam bearings, which not easy, but I'm sure a guy can figure it out. So yeah, she was cold. As you guys can see here, this thing's got 352,000 miles on it. She's a champ. She really is. I've done a lot to this Jeep too. It's got its problems. It really does. But it's a solid rig. That's why I want to put a motor into it, keep driving it. It needs some unibody work as well. But yeah, she's all reliable. I like this Jeep a lot. It's my first XJ that I bought. So we're not giving up on this old girl quite yet. So the shelter logic I got is actually holding up pretty good, other than, when we first got it, I first put it up the first week, this broke. The zipper just busted through. So we put up ratchet straps across both sides, front and rear. Seems to hold up pretty good. Significantly warmer in here too. Got the old Jayco, the 2J. Getting a little sweaty, that happens. Yeah, I've been putting these mice pouches in here. These things try to keep out the rodents and whatnot, and rubber snakes. So gonna connect the battery, get her started up, probably pull her out. As you can see, it's really tight, so I'm gonna have to bring her back here and try to maneuver it out. So we're gonna get her fired up and bring her out, let her see the sunlight a little bit. All right, so this is how I gotta get in the 2J. I gotta climb in to the passenger. Whoa, and make my way over here. So if you guys can't tell, it's pretty chilly in here. She's a bit frosty. See how she starts. pissed. Took a little while, but she started, so that's good. Got oil pressure. Got the high idle stick on. She's probably chooching. Oh yeah, she's cold. Look at that chooch. Woo! Alright, it was a tight fit, but I got her out. Doing it with one person's a little more tough. If you have two people, you can guide you out. The problem with this is when we put this carport together, we put the back side on the front so that flap doesn't open up properly. I'm gonna let this girl, oh, she's already warmed up. Maybe I'll go take it for a little cruise. We're gonna see a little bit of daylight today. That was all we got for the next week. It was just rain, some snow, all kinds of fun stuff. Which, you know, you see a Jeep like this, you think, why don't you drive that in the snow? You know, it must be fun. Well, I did. I took it in the snow one year and it was phenomenal. What's up, Chloe? She's a pretty girl. So driving in the snow is fun, but around here, like I said, they use so much salt, it's not worth driving on the road. Someday, when I get that unibody fixed and patched up properly, I can also do my floors and rockers. It needs the basic XJ redneck restoration, if you will. So once we get that, and then I can fluid film the whole undercarriage, I won't worry about it anymore. I'll drive this thing wherever, whenever, wherever. I took the front drive shaft out because the pinion shaft in the front axle is loose. So I might climb under there today and check that out. I took the front drive shaft out, so it's no longer four-wheel drive for now. But yeah, that pinion seal right there, that's got a lot of play up and down. And I don't know how long it's been like that for, but eventually I'm gonna tear that apart. And I gotta do the seals, the axle seals on the inside. They're kind of a pain, so I figured while I have it up, torn apart, I can just do everything at once. There she is in all her glory. So the smoking stops a little bit once it's warmed up. A lot of it's just water vapor, but it is an old 90s Jeep. It's gonna smoke a little bit. Gonna bring old Chloe inside and go for a ride. Oh, you wanna go inside? I know you don't, because you're a wolf. Come on, girl. She's still super frosty. Ugh. Gonna go stretch her legs a bit. See, this road isn't as bad. It's the main roads that they go crazy on. Crazy heavy on the salt. This one's drivable. Warm the turbo up a little bit. Don't want to be going crazy. Fits like a glove. Alright, we're currently in the green Jeep. Got my buddy Josh up there in my truck. I'm going to rent a car hauler, pick up the engine, and then bring this old girl to Connecticut to my buddy Brian's shop. And yeah, we're going to drop it off and he's going to work his magic. I'm not driving it 2 hours, that's why we're renting the car hauler, hauling it out there just in case. I probably could drive this out here, but I don't feel like being stranded on the side of the road today. It's too cold for that. So we're just gonna be better safe than sorry and just get the car hauler. But this will be the last drive with the old motor, the original motor. I believe this is the original engine. The previous owner told me he rebuilt it, so I'm assuming he rebuilt the original motor, and might have cut a few corners on the rebuild there, because I've only put about 90,000 miles on this Jeep on the rebuilt engine, so it should have lasted longer than that, but that's okay. We'll get a new one in, and we'll get this girl back on the road, daily driving this like I like to. Couldn't film much last night, but we dropped the Jeep off with the engine to Brian, and he's going to take probably about a month to do this swap. He's a good buddy of mine, so I appreciate Brian for the help. If you're watching, shout out to you, Brian. He's going to go through everything. He's going to take the engine apart, the new one that I got. Supposedly it has a new crank, cam, shaft, and bearings, so we're going to see how much of that is true. He's going to check the head gasket out, make sure it's good. Might as well do all this before we put it in, so we don't run into problems in the future. My plan is to go to pick the Jeep up when it's done and drive it back, so I don't have to tow it back. So yeah, that's the plan, and I'll keep you guys posted on that. In the meantime, if you guys enjoyed this video, drop a like, comment down below, let me know what you want to see in upcoming videos, and I appreciate you guys for watching. We'll see you later.